How's everybody doing today? My name is Stephen Rosenberg, and with me I have a very special guest, Michelle, who is the founder, the owner, and the designer of Stitch and Stone.
Thank you.
Michelle, thanks so
Hi.
much for being on the podcast.
My pleasure.
Michelle caught my eye. I saw her at a pop-up event at the WeWork big award ceremony, and I really fell in love with what Michelle is doing for a couple of reasons. One, her product is phenomenal, and it definitely stuck out to me from all the other products out there, but also because she's an entrepreneur at heart, and I want to kind of get you on and really tell the world what you're about,
Okay.
where you came from, and what your goal is.
Thank you for the lovely introduction. I have always dabbled in jewelry making and entrepreneurship. In junior high, I would sell nail polish and little necklaces to my friends in the hallways. People would come up to me and say, "Oh, you're the jewelry girl," and I'd, take orders from them. So it was early, yeah.
So you're a hustler, David.
I'm a hustler. What can I say?
It's good.
My parents had a jewelry and Judaica business when I was growing up. Started about when I was 11.
Okay.
And I would go with them to all the craft fairs and travel, and I would have a little section at their booth where I could sell the things that I made.
Mm-hmm.
So it was always a hobby. It was always so exciting to sell what I was making and talk to the people. That was what I loved about it too, just interacting with the customers.
Okay.
So fast forward, we moved to Austin in 2011. I was a teacher and certifying to move my credentials from New York to Texas.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I stumbled upon all these great artist markets on South Congress, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to do that. That looks like so much fun. Let me figure this out." So talking to people, and I was able to have a little booth. I started out sharing with another lady and sold a few things here and there. And then little by little, people started knowing I was there, coming back. I had my own booth, and it just grew. From there, I stopped, pursuing the teaching, and I started doing this full time. Yeah.
So what made you do the switch? Just because it started becoming profitable?
Yeah, financially,
Yeah.
we were able to just do the 1 or 2 weekend days and probably make more money than I would teaching full time.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then I started an Etsy shop, which got a lot of traction because so many people were seeing my things at the market. So people were coming to my online businesses as well. I picked up a few stores here and there that were carrying my things wholesale in Austin and around the country. Mm-hmm. And before I knew it, we were rocking and rolling.
Yeah. So where does the passion come from? I mean, I guess
yeah.
You can't just do this.
Oh no. Well, there's two for me.
Okay.
One is creating. I love that's my flow. Like they say, you need to find your flow. So sitting down with a box of beads and supplies. I don't do much like planning or pre-designing. I just sit and then start. My fingers just go and start pulling the things, and so that process of creating something from nothing is really exciting for me.
I love that. Yeah.
And then the selling. I love selling. I love being out there with the customers and talking to people and helping them find something that they like. It gives me a lot of energy to be out with the people. Yeah. Especially in Austin, because the thing about Austin is people come from everywhere. The people who live here are from everywhere, and then there's a constant influx of tourists, which is just really exciting to me to talk to people and meet people from everywhere in the world.
Everywhere in the world, yeah. So, I mean, what is some of the goals moving forward with it? How do you see it in 10, 20 years?
Yes. All good questions. I'm not 100% sure where I do see it. Of course, all different ideas are floating in my head at all times. One is having a retail location. I like it, but it also seems a bit limiting and tying me down to one spot, especially I have a family. So the lifestyle that we have now is pretty nice because I can be home during the week and then work on my schedule, be with my son during the day, and then on the weekend we all go out and it's fun, like a little family business. So having a store is just more overhead and responsibility, but I love the idea of creating a space in the community where people can come. I have the idea of like holding workshops there.
Yeah.
So like make your own jewelry nights, make your own terrarium nights, just a place for people to come and be creative. So that really appeals to me, and that is definitely on the maybe list.
Okay.
Another idea is to have an Airstream that I deck out.
What's
to
an
do,
Airstream?
Oh, like a trailer, like a little mobile shop.
Oh, okay.
That I trail, and I can set it up as a jewelry shop.
Okay.
There are a few of them already in Austin.
Really?
Different things, yeah.
Where you can like build your own, or you just mean they travel?
No, like I would purchase an Airstream trailer.
Okay.
Like a motorhome.
Mm-hmm.
And gut it and turn it into a little boutique, and then bring it to different places.
Okay.
So either a festival or parking lot that I know is going to be busy. So, but the challenge with that is finding spaces where I'm allowed to bring it.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about that. Is there limiting factors to it? Do you have to pay?
I don't know. I have to do the research
Okay.
first. There are some like food truck lots that have a few boutique trailers in it as well. It's basically like a food truck concept, but with a boutique
jewelry
item inside. Yeah. So finding out the logistics of that are something I need to do.
So one thing I want to talk about that you mentioned is your Etsy success.
Yes.
I think that's very exciting. I mean, I'm all about social media and technology and all these things. I mean, tell me about that, like how that kind of came to life for you, because I think that's crazy from being able, you're like in this stable teacher environment, 9 to 5 situation, and you're eventually able to outgrow that.
Etsy is interesting. Online is interesting. After college, I started selling handbags on eBay, and supported myself for like a year just doing that, living in the city. And then it got a little like my home was turning into a warehouse, so I stopped that. And
You're talking about in the city of
in Manhattan.
Manhattan.
Yeah, this was after college.
Okay.
So that gave me like a taste of selling things online.
Okay.
That could be lucrative and.
You supported yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, in Manhattan, that's pretty cool.
And I learned how to do it because in high school I took like a part-time job as this lady's assistant who had an eBay business, and she taught me how to list her things.
Really?
That was my job for like $8 an hour or something. So every job you take will teach you something.
But you got an education.
I got an education, and so I did that. And then I had an Etsy shop always, and sold a thing here and there. And then little by little, it just got more traction. I don't know exactly how it happened. I think possibly from a lot of people going to my shop from the market. People who saw me set up, and then they went to my Etsy shop, and so that got me more views, which got me higher rankings.
Were you doing that in Manhattan?
No, this was
This
in
is
Austin.
Only Austin, okay.
In Austin is where I really started the jewelry business full time. And it's very dependent on the season. Like I will do more business in November and December than the rest of the year combined.
Really? Okay.
And it has a lot to do with your keywords, your social media placement. I try to balance my posting so that I get a lot of views, but I also don't overpost. So that's like a strategy that I worked on.
Okay.
Doing different things on Instagram with trying to get more followers. I don't know. It's just I'm constantly posting and trying to build it up.
Yeah, I mean, I think Instagram, and we talked a little bit about this. I think Instagram is that next Pinterest for you, to where it can really make you pop.
Right.
Tell people how they can find you on Instagram, because I'm obsessed with getting your followership up, because you have amazing work. I mean, it really is impressive.
Yes, it's Stitch and Stone, spelled out ATX. So Stitch and Stone ATX is my Instagram handle. I'm also on Facebook as Stitch and Stone. And
Anywhere else? Website or?
Yeah, my Etsy shop is Stitch and Stone Design. And then I have a stitchandstone.com. And I also, when we were talking about where I see myself in the future, is wholesale. So I'm really trying to reach out to boutiques and build up my image that way to try to be more like a wholesale brand to get into lots of different stores, because it's just me right now, and I think that's limiting in a way.
Correct.
When I was selling at the markets, I had a huge line, because I would just make stuff and bring it and sell it, and that worked really well because people would just come and look. But if I want to get into wholesale, I have to be a little bit more like streamlined and regimented, so I'm trying to work on that now to come up with more of a cohesive line and something that identifies me more as a brand rather than just like a shop that has all different types of things.
So what are some of the major hurdles? I mean, like, give me your dream of like where you would be.
Well, you know, Kendra Scott is very inspiring. I don't know if you know her, because I didn't before I moved to Texas, but it's a very popular line that started out in Austin.
Okay.
And she has a shop on South Congress, and she has just really like grown her brand extremely well, where she's in shops all over the country.
Really?
And
Kendra Scott. Okay.
It's pretty streamlined, like it's very identifiable, and you see it and you know it's her. So I think I would like to have more of a brand that's associated with me rather than how I'm doing it now, which is great for the market situation where there's really something for everybody. People come and they're like, it could be like a 75-year-old woman and a 13-year-old girl, and they can both find something that they love, which is great. But I need to focus more on having like I'm trying to think of the word that's associated with me, like a line that's associated with me.
Yeah. So, you know, one thing I always do on this podcast is, one, I love to hear what like a big dream of yours is, because if we can make it happen, we definitely will.
Right.
And then the second thing is, if you had one question you could ask to a huge audience, what would that question be?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I would absolutely love to have a shop on South Congress.
Okay.
That would be like the goal for me.
The go-to for...
Yeah, because that was really how my success happened, being on South Congress, just one day a week. And unfortunately, with like the way that the block is changing, new ownership and different establishments, the spots for vendors and makers are getting smaller and smaller. There's only a few venues for us to sell now, and a lot of people who want to. So I would absolutely love to have a permanent location there, and even the idea has crossed my mind to have a bigger space that I could rent little areas to other artists. So it'd kind of be like a co-op.
Really?
To bring the market, to bring the uncertainty of the market into an actual brick and mortar location where people could have the opportunity to sell where they normally wouldn't be able to afford, you know, real estate on South Congress, but they can have a shelf or a little wall space where they can showcase their items to, you know, such a big market of people.
That's very interesting concept. Yeah. So what do you think the market is like here in Austin of that kind of demographic? I mean, that's something I don't know a lot about.
Makers?
Yeah.
Oh, it's huge.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people with, you know, ranging sizes of businesses.
Okay.
Some people do it as a hobby, part-time, full-time. A lot of people do it full-time. And I think the major challenge is finding places to sell their work.
Really? That's like the problem that you want to help solve, not only for yourself, but for all these other people. I think that's an amazing cause. I really do.
Great.
So you guys should definitely follow her and check out her store.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.